Hello, welcome to Digital Signal Processing online lecture series. In this session, we are going to see the examples on properties of discrete time system. In the previous sessions, we have seen how many properties are there related to discrete time system and how we can check whether it is related to the system or which property is related to the system. We have seen few examples in the previous session also. Now in this session, we are going to see some more examples or variants of such systems to find out the different properties for different systems. So let's start with that. So first of all, let us look at the 5 properties which we have listed out. First one was static and dynamic system. Second one was time variant and time invariant system. Third one was linear and non-linear system. Fourth one, causal and non-causal system. And the fifth one is stable and unstable system. We are checking the system for following properties. Let us see the first example. So here in this example, it is asked us to check whether the following systems are static or dynamic. Here 5 systems are given to us. First one is y of n equals to n into x of n. Now recall the static property concept. In that, if the system depends on the present values of input, it is called as static, and if it includes any of the past or future values, it will become dynamic system. So in the first one, we have n into x of n. Here our input is x of n. In the bracket, we don't have any delay elements or advance elements. That's why we can say that this system is a static system. Now second one. Second one is that y of n equals to x of n into n plus b into x square of n. Now in the first term, we have x of n, which is our input, and it is multiplied with n. But our concern is the input x of n. In input x of n, in the bracket n minus 2, n plus 2 or such number is not there. Then same way in the second term also, we have x square of n. But in the bracket we have only n term, which indicates that the output depends only on the present values of input. That's why we can say that this system is a static system. Now the third one. Third one is y of n equals to 3 into x of n plus 5. So here again we have x of n input function which does not have any delay or advance elements, but it is simply multiplied by a constant and then it is added by another constant 5. So again this is a static system. Now next one. Next is y of n, that is equals to x of minus n. Now if we take x of minus n, that means for example if I take n equals to 1, so my system output function will be what? Y of n equals to x of minus 1. What it indicates? That it depends on the past values. Same way, if I take n equals to minus 2, so system function will be x of minus 2, that means x of plus 2. That indicates for that instant it depends on the future values. That's why we can say that this system is a dynamic system. Now next, number 5 is y of n equals to x of n square. Here again, for any values of n, it will depend on future values. For example, if I take n equals to 3, so x of n square will be equals to 3 square, that is 9. So it depends that n equals to 3 gives the system function or x of 9, that means for future values. So this states that there is a dynamic system. Okay. So I hope that these much variations are making your mind clear how we can identify static and dynamic system. And for any of the system function given to you, now you'll be able to answer whether the system is static or dynamic. Okay. Let's move to the next example. So here in this example, it is asked us to check whether the following system is time variant or time invariant. Three data are given to us. First one is y of n, that is equals to a into x of n plus 6. Second one is y of n equals to cos into x of n. And the third one is y of n equals to n into x of n. Now we know that to check time variant and time invariant property, we have to follow three steps. First one is to delay the input elements. Second one is to replace n by n minus k. And the step number 3 is to compare step 1 and 2 output. If they are equal, we say that it is time invariant. Otherwise, it will be time variant. So for this example, step 1 is to replace input by k delay elements. So here we have a into x of n plus 6. Input is what? X of n. So we will delay it by k samples, which will give the equation a into x of n minus k plus 6. Okay, like this. Now, step number 2. Step number 2 is delay the input by k samples. That means wherever n is there, replace n by n minus k. So again it will be the same, a into x of n minus k plus 6. Now if we compare these two, they both are equal. So we can say that this system is time invariant. That means it does not change with time. Now, next, second one, that is cos of x of n. So again we are doing the same procedure. Y of n comma k, that is equals to cos of x n minus k. Okay. Same way, now we will replace n by n minus k, that will remain same. So if we compare step number 3, 1 and 2, then they are equal. That's why we can say that this is a time invariant system. Now the third one. So third one is n into x of n. First one, what we will do? We will delay the input by k sample. So first step will be y of n comma k, that is equals to n into x of n minus k. Second step states that replace n by n minus k. So whatever n values are there, we need to replace it by n minus k. So step number 2 will be n minus k into x of n minus k. If we compare these two, we can see that these two are not equal. That means y of n comma k does not equals to y of n minus k. So we can say that this system is time variant. It varies with time. Okay. So we have seen this 3 of the examples, 3 of the cases to check whether the systems are time variant or time invariant. Now you will be able to check for any of the given system for this property using this 3 steps. Alright. Let's move to the next example. Here it is asked to check whether the system is causal or non-causal. First one is y of n equals to 3 into x of n. Causal system states that it should depend on present or future values. Sorry, present and past values. It should not include future values. So we will have y of n equals to 3 into x of n. That means it depends on the present values only, which leads to it a causal system. Next one is y of n equals to x of n plus 4 into x of n minus 1. Now again it is a combination of present and past values. That's why again the system becomes a causal system. And the last one is y of n equals to x of minus n. Here, if we take n equals to 4, it will become comes to x of minus 4, that means past values. But if we take n equals to minus 4, system function will be x of plus 4, which indicates that it depends on the future values. So the concept of causal is what? It should depend only on present or past values, not on future values. So here it depends on the future values of the input. That's why this becomes a non-causal system. Okay? So these are the basic properties or rules using which you can check for the given properties for the given system. I hope that now onwards you will be able to solve all the system functions according to the given properties asked. This is a reference book which can be helpful to you, and from this you can even find different system functions to check the properties for that. Thank you. Thank you for listening.